Welcome to the American Sports Connection. I am your host, the one and only Joey Railroads. I'm here with my buddy Rygal tonight. What's going on, man?
Nothing much, man. How you doing? How's everything?
Doing well. Now, what did you think of Raw as a whole last night?
I don't know. I mean, it wasn't bad. It's better than it has been. So I think there was a lot of stuff that was kind of interesting. So I'm just looking forward to the next 2 months of wrestling, which has been a while since I've said something like that. So
yeah, I can attest to that, everyone. The only thing I really didn't like was the third hour. I thought kind of went off a cliff,
To be completely honest, I had a nosebleed, and that's why I suddenly got off of...
Oh, okay.
So I just bounced, and I went right to bed afterwards. So I kind of watched what I thought was important when I came home from work.
Yes.
But I didn't get to live it to see what a letdown it was, but I did realize I kind of skipped a lot more stuff through hour 3.
Well, I'll get this off my chest, and then we'll just make some points. Was the thing that really pissed me off was the who was going to fight The Miz and who it actually turned out to be.
Yeah, because we were kind of joking about how fucked up it would be if it was Demon Kane.
Big letdown.
Yeah, I'm just, but...
And I'm not knocking Kane, but it's just,
But is it really time to bring somebody up? Because I think everybody just expected it to be somebody being called up.
Yeah.
And that's what you get for being, for expecting something. I mean, it would be a terrible time to bring somebody new up. There's so many new faces right now, and the draft hasn't happened yet. What are you going to do for another almost month with these guys?
Right, well, see, that's what kind of ruined it, because it was that. And then they had a Cesaro and Cruz versus Sheamus and Del Rio, back to back, and I'm like, ugh.
What the fuck was up with that combination? Cesaro and Cruz.
I know, that was so weird.
I seen a meme today, it made me crack up, that Apollo Crews is a mix between Kevin Hart and Terry Crews. And looked at the picture, I was like, holy shit, that's
dead
accurate.
on.
That's a very highly accurate meme description.
But that's just those two things kind of put me to sleep, where I'm just like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I had no real desire to see that.
Yeah, well, you were lucky.
Yeah.
In one sense of the word. Now, the one thing me and you were actually just talking about before we got on was how WWE actually brought up Roman Reigns' suspension.
Yeah, see, that surprised the fuck out of me, because I missed the first couple of minutes trying to find the stream, and I still haven't seen it all, but I heard enough of it to know that I was like, holy shit, have they really gone there with this? They're openly talking about it, and then Stephanie came out, and in fact, she made a comment, lets me know that, WWE really thinks something big about this. And she was like, we were very disappointed. They weren't involved in no storyline for her to be saying something like that.
Yeah. Well, I rewatched the opening segment, and it was funny because Seth Rollins comes out and he's like, hell with it. Let's talk about the Roman Reigns suspension. I know I'm not supposed to, but I don't care.
He's funny. and they pulled it off well. I liked what it formed into. I did see some people groaning about Cena and trying to be in the big picture. Sorry, I'm yawning. I'm tired. Work sucks.
Now, I didn't mind Cena in it because I knew it probably wouldn't lead to anything.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, having Cena in a match adds validity.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
I thought it was a good set. I usually don't like really long talking segments to open a show, but that was a good one.
Yeah, I for a moment kind of hoped it would go into like an Elimination Chamber style match.
That's what I thought too.
Or, you know, I would say War Games, but War Games is 2 teams. Because there were rumors that they want to do a War Games style match this year.
That would be cool if they brought that back. I loved War Games.
Bro, I would mark the fuck out if they had the double ring. Are you kidding me? To see a double ring in WWE?
Hell yeah, dude.
I mean, I'd prefer World War III with the 3-ring Battle Royal.
Dude, I'll never forget that. That came out in like 95.
Yeah, one of those years. And
I remember because it was when Hogan was feuding with the Giant and Savage won the world title at the very first World War III.
Yes.
Dude,
Yeah.
that would be amazing because I always loved the War Games, the Match Beyond, and all that shit. That was classic shit right there.
Yeah, I liked all that old gimmicky shit. I don't care what anybody said. That's what steel cages mattered.
Oh yeah, dude, I'll tell you a story. My first one I saw, because we didn't have TBS here till I was like at least like 10 or 11. So I got to see WCW. And the very first War Games I saw was the one when Dusty and Dustin Rhodes and the Nasty Boys fought Arn Anderson and like Terry Funk, and I forget the other 2 guys.
Yeah, I remember which one. Yeah.
I think it was 94.
Yeah, it was one of the early ones.
But then I went back and watched the other ones.
I like the one where the NWO just clears out the entire fucking ring.
Yes.
I think that one was, I want to say 96? Was that 96 or 97? Because I don't remember what time.
Was it the one with the fake Sting?
I don't think so.
Okay, then it's the year after.
Yeah, there was one where they just fucking eliminated everybody and they were just in a ring by themselves.
That's funny.
And I just missed that. Because that's when I was watching. Like, that's when I did WWE that I've actually missed. I've probably never seen. There's probably 1 or 2 pay-per-views that I've never actually seen.
Wow.
Yeah, because I was a WCW mark for a long time. We don't know, in fact, I was a big WCW mark for a while.
Well, that's cool.
Like, I didn't know who, I mean, like, I knew who Stone Cold was well after he became Austin 316.
Okay.
Like, I knew who Stone Cold was, but I wasn't really watching. I can tell you the day that I went back to watching, because I remembered the segment. It was the New Age Outlaws versus Foley and
Chainsaw Charlie.
Yeah. Chainsaw Charlie. And
That was the night after Mania 14.
I guess so, where X-Pac was in the crowd, and X-Pac was the newest member of
Yeah.
DX. Yeah, I believe that was in the dumpster match, possibly.
Yeah.
But that was the night, because I remember, oh my god, it's 6. But I remembered him as the 1, 2, 3 kid, but he had been 6 for so long.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh shit, like new guy in DX, and then that's when I started watching it.
Yeah, that's cool.
I mean, I still watch WCW, Nitro, but it was more like Raw was my show, at that point.
Right, I got you. Now, Jericho last night with the highlight reel with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
Jericho's just the best heel, although I fucking hate the whole drink it in. I hate it. I hate it so much.
Yes.
But that means it's working. It means he's good at what he's doing. But I'm like, I want to kick you. I want to kick your teeth. It's so
down
annoying.
your throat.
Right down your throat.
Oh, that's like God. He's such a great heel. He comes out, he's like quiet.
And I liked how he found a way to put down Owens, with Owens standing right there as if he's a fucking nobody. Like, I loved the fact that they were able to both super kick him.
Yeah.
Like, that I thought came off fucking perfect.
That was like basically like in a way the indie guys giving like a big F you to him.
Yeah, like all right, we don't agree on anything, but we can do this.
It's just I don't know where they can go with Owens and Zayn anymore.
Apparently, this is the last time.
Okay. Well, if that's
last time.
If that's the case, then Sammy has to win.
I would think so. I am just sad that Kevin Owens is not going to end up winning the world title at SummerSlam. I didn't think it was going to happen, but I kind of was like, that would be awesome if it happened.
But I think he's well on his way.
But I won't get to be in the audience when it happened, like I was in the audience when he won the Ring of Honor title, and then when he lost the Ring of Honor title. That's my homie, bro.
Right,
I love that, man.
And me and you have talked about this privately. Who would have ever thought you would get tired of seeing El Generico fight Kevin Steen?
Bro, if you would have told me when Steen made his debut that one day I would be tired of watching them fight, I would have called you a fucking liar and unoffended you on Facebook.
I agree with what Lance just said in the chat. Sammy will win, and then they're going to get drafted to opposite brands.
That's brilliant. You know, because that makes perfect sense. And then
yeah, because then it means like, oh, this is the last confrontation.
Yeah. And the pay-per-view is before, right?
No, it's through the week after the draft.
Huh. Okay.
Like the draft happens on a Tuesday, and the pay-per-view's on that Sunday.
Very cool. Okay. But I said it last night, and I'll say it again. I think it was brilliant for them to decide to do the draft on SmackDown and not Raw.
Yeah.
It'll get people to watch it. It'll get them the Nielsen number for their first night, and it gives them something that the people have to be there for. And then hopefully, it's enough of a diverse roster that people are going to be interested in both and want to come back next week to see what happens.
Right, and that they don't just front load Raw.
Exactly. I mean, like, you put on fan favorites on both shows, and somebody may go, oh shit, I'm going to watch this because Kevin Owens is on SmackDown.
Yeah, or Dean Ambrose, or whoever.
Yeah.
Speaking of Dean Ambrose, I wanted to bring this point up. They changed the name of the title last night, subtly. He's
the WWE champion now.
Yeah. As opposed to the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. So it's like subtly getting people ready for two titles.
I believe that is going to be the case.
Ryga, Lance says it'll be the first SmackDown he's watched in 2 years.
Bro, I think I got you beat. Oh no, I'm lying because I've watched because of the tiny chat.
Yeah, but before that.
Bro, it's going on 3 or 4 years. I legitimately look at SmackDown as nothing more than like a main event or a Superstars. And it sucks because I know that they do stuff. Like occasionally I'll go watch a clip of something cool that happened. But in general, no, I don't watch it. And I don't even watch it on like Desi Rules, which is where I can just kind of thumb through it. So it's just nothing important happens there to further any storylines.
Right, and that's why people don't watch.
Yeah. You make it important. You make something like I have to see this to understand what's going on. Of course my ass is going to be there. But if it's going to be like a Raw recap, which is basically all SmackDown is, it's half the show is Raw recaps.
I hate it.
Bro, they film SmackDown before they film Raw sometimes. I know they did that when... Oh, but then again, that was the week before WrestleMania, so...
Yeah, but I know what you're saying. All right. The other thing I wanted to bring up was New Day's promo of them coming out like the Wyatts.
I thought it was great, and I think they. Sorry, I'm yawning again. I think they hit a home run.
Lance makes a good point. He says half of Raw is a Raw recap, for fuck's sake.
This is also true.
But yeah, I enjoyed the New Day thing, and then when the Wyatts came out, and how they had like Xavier Woods acting, I was like, wow, this is getting really interesting.
Yeah, like I'd like to see where this goes.
My fear is they're just gonna job the Wyatts out to him.
Yo, imagine he turns.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Because he plays a decent heel. I think he would do well at that. I really do.
I think it would basically be like his big heel push to like be the single guy, you know?
Yeah, eventually, but you're right. But that make no sense because they just got another 3-man team of the club, but they're treating it as two individual, a tag and an individual instead of a 3-man Freebird style.
Yeah, or unless they're slowly gonna break them up.
And they just started. Wait, who was the club?
No, New Day.
That's possible, but it would just make no sense when you bring another 3-man team that you could have at least done something with, and you'll have another one in the Wyatts.
Yeah. Well, everything I read is that Harper's gonna, when he comes back, be on his own.
What? See, like, I look at Harper comes back, continues with the Wyatt family, turns on Bray, turns Bray face, and then takes over, and then have
becomes
Harper
a new leader.
Yeah.
That would work.
It would allow Bray to become benign, still creepy, but benign. Maybe even introduce Sister Abigail finally. So they can have that, and then you get to build Harper as a leading man, kind of. Maybe mid-card, but still somebody to be taken seriously, somebody with a spotlight on.
Yeah, because he's the best worker of the group.
Absolutely.
If they actually brought in Sister Abigail, I'd love to see who they actually would have play the role.
See, I think counter to everybody. I don't think she should be creepy whatsoever. I think she should be absolutely beautiful. Complete counter to everything he is.
It makes sense.
I just think that the juxtaposition would be amazing.
Here you go. Land said that they must have some Daniel Bryan Wyatt scripts left over.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you've done better this time.
Hey, here's another one for you. Eva Marie is Sister Abigail. Of course she's kidding.
I'm trying to think, the trainer. What the fuck is her name?
Oh, Sarah Del Rey?
Yeah. You could have brought her in.
Well, she works on the main roster now.
Does she?
Yeah. She does, she's an agent or something.
Oh.
I don't know exactly what she does.
When you said works, I thought you meant, wrestles.
Oh, my bad.
She works shows?
No.
Wow.
But that would be a good one.
Asuka would work, but people would know that it's
Asuka.
Yeah. Oh, no. Look, people know wrestling are characters. Do they really expect you to bring somebody who, nobody's ever seen before for them to believe that this is really their Sister Abigail?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but, you bring Asuka up, but she's Japanese, and, she wouldn't be able to talk.
I've always said, and people laugh at me when I say this, I always said they should let Bayley do it. But they won't do that.
But you know what? I can see that being done, though, well.
Because I think Bayley could pull it off.
So do I. Absolutely. Like, have them start showing up on NXT all of a sudden, scaring the shit out of her. And then one day she just, like, she breaks and she remembers that she's Abigail.
Yeah, that'd be really fun.
And even she could be just heel, but they wouldn't have to make her ugly. Just change her gimmick. Complete opposite of what she is now.
And that she isn't necessarily bad, she's just controlled by, like, the Wyatts in a sense.
Or the other way around.
Yeah.
She controls them.
Yeah. Alright. Main event last night was Ambrose versus Styles.
Not a bad match, but the ending I expected given what happened earlier in the night.
It started off really slow.
Yeah. Admittedly, I skipped to about the halfway point in the match.
Yeah. Because me and a couple others were still in the tiny chat and we're like, wow, this is kind of really like blah. And then it finally started picking up.
Yeah, I wonder why that is, especially with AJ.
That was my exact thought.
And Seth, they're both high maintenance workers. I mean, like, they go 1,000%. So yeah, that's kind of odd.
But you figured there was going to be shenanigans. It was cool having Rollins doing commentary.
Yeah, I like his personality.
Because it's so weird, the dichotomy they're having here, where it's like it's almost like Rollins is the baby face, but he's a heel, or you don't know what the hell he is.
Oh, that was Austin for a lot of his career.
Yeah.
And there were times where, like, the crowd would boo the fuck out of him. Like, there were super heel times. But I wonder if that could exist today.
It's possible. I liked what they did, and you'd mentioned this earlier, where you all had Ambrose and Styles and Rollins and Cena were all, like, intertwined in this picture.
Yeah, because, like, during the Attitude Era, everything meant something. Even, like, Too Cool. Like, they were over. Like, because they were involved in things. And it's like, instead of it being exclusive, where it's, perfect examples I used before, Randy Orton and Sheamus. When they're locked in a feud, there's nobody else there. Like, they're not bouncing off of nobody else. Here, they're at least mixing it up with other people and intertwining two storylines together. If they did that more often, it would look real instead of like this one segment's this thing and this segment's
like
this
we're
thing.
Gonna have Rusev and Titus O'Neil fight like 4 times in less than 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, and then part of the problem is how the fuck do you book a Titus O'Neil Rusev feud?
I know.
So.
What's up, Harry? Harry's in the house.
On Skype? Or just in the chat?
No, in the chat.
Oh, okay.
But I agree with you. It's very hard when you pigeonhole guys that are like, okay, we're going to be in this feud and there's going to be like nothing else.
Yeah, it's like a black hole.
Yeah.
And I think it does more for more parties by having more parties involved.
That's the thing that's driving me nuts with Zayn and Owens, where it's like they've had these interactions going on really since the Rumble.
Bro, since Steen debuted on NXT.
That's
the only reason
I mean for the main roster to see.
Oh yeah, I mean, but part of the issue goes back to the fact that they feuded so much in NXT also. It's just that it's
right,
just
and you brought this up. It's like he destroys Sami Zayn in their like first interaction, and he wins the world title. It's like you don't recover from that.
Yo, how do you go past that? I mean, The guy wins the title when he beats the guy up so badly, doesn't even pin him, just literally like the ref stopped the fight. Something that I never remember that really happening in fucking history, to win a title. And you want Sammy to come back from this? How?
It's like you did, and buried is a word that gets thrown around a lot, but in essence, you just buried the guy's chances to ever make people believe he could come back and beat him.
Absolutely. I mean, granted, I understand that they wanted to put Owens over as a monster, but not at the sake of potentially. I mean, but granted, Sami Zayn's amazing, so I mean, like that stigma didn't really stick. But it's just the whole fact of storyline purposes. That killed it right then and there.
Yeah. Harry says he's multitasking. He's listening to us and watching Shark Week.
Oh, impressive. I was watching Game of Thrones and playing video games at the same time before, because I forgot my Xbox can do that. If you actually look on my wall, there is a debate on whether to watch Game of Thrones that I've missed for the last 2 years, or play Overwatch. And then at one point I remembered I have an Xbox and can do both.
You know, I've never seen, like, not even 2 minutes of Game of Thrones.
Oh, it's a great show. The books are fantastic. I would definitely recommend reading the books first, then watching the show, especially since if next year is the end of the show like I'm hearing.
Yeah.
You might as well just read all the books. Granted, there still are 2 more books that are due to come out, and show's now ahead of the books.
Gotcha.
But I recommend it fully, especially if you like reading, because I hate reading. I mean, I like reading, but I hate reading, if that makes any sense, and I couldn't put Game of Thrones down.
You mean you like reading what you like to read?
Yes, but not to the point that, like, I will read sitting at home, because I'll usually read going to work. I would bring this fucking book home and sit on my bed and just read and read and read and read.
Harry's just like me. He's never seen more than 30 seconds of it.
Do you like boobs? No, yeah, I'm going to ask you a couple questions. Do you like boobs?
Yes.
Do you like sword fights?
Yeah, it's alright.
Do you mind murder?
No, not at all.
Can murder make a show better?
Sure.
Game of Thrones is for you.
Because I usually watch a lot of Investigation Discovery Channel.
Alright, do you appreciate shows that will legitimately surprise you and, like, leave you slack-jawed going, oh my fucking god?
Yeah, like, what the hell?
If you never plan on watching Game of Thrones, like, oh, that's not for me, anybody listening, please do me a favor, just one favor. Go to YouTube. Type in Red Wedding Reaction, because you're not going to have nothing spoiled because you're not going to watch it. But just watch that. And if you want to watch a show that can do that to you, give Game of Thrones a chance. That's it. That's my public service announcement.
And this public service announcement was brought to you by Rygal.
But yeah, there's like boobs and whores and little people and fucking dragons and more boobs, occasional rape, lots of murder, unexpected murder, incest, and dire wolves, and the Wall, and Jon Snow, and wildings, and that's not it, but I'll stop.
There you go. I'm gonna stop bashing on this Ambrose match because it really was good. It was just like weird that it started off so slow, and it eventually led to shenanigans with the club trying to help Styles beat Ambrose, which leads to Cena coming out to assist and basically help Ambrose nail the dirty deeds and get the win.
Now, did you notice Cena didn't come out until after the club came out?
Yes.
Do you have any thought as to why they could have done that? Because I don't know, but I have my speculative guess.
I'm not sure, but go ahead.
I think that they're so shrewd with how John Cena is portrayed that they wouldn't want to portray him as the guy coming out to help somebody cheat. He was reacting to the club coming out.
Ah, okay. Well, hey, that makes sense.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it's legit, but he's the shining babyface. Shining babyfaces don't cheat, no matter what.
Even though Hulk Hogan raked eyes all the time.
Yeah, but that was when he was a heel. Did he do that as a babyface?
Yeah.
Oh, so why the times have changed?
It just makes me laugh because I remember as a kid growing up seeing that.
Well, I didn't know that was supposed to be a dirty move, I guess. I mean, like, I knew, like, a dick kick was... Like, I always thought an atomic drop was a dirty move.
Yeah. Lance says you made a very great point.
Oh, thank you, Lance.
I actually do agree where they want to portray him in the he's coming to save the day limelight.
Yeah, and he didn't really get involved in the fight.
No.
He was there, and
his
AJ...
issue was with the club.
Yeah, and AJ interacted with him from the ring. Like, John Cena didn't interfere in the match. AJ just lost focus by looking at Cena.
Right,
so.
And this is basically from what happened earlier in the night where the club distracted Cena to where he lost against Seth.
Yeah.
But I did think it was interesting how Raw ended where the club basically destroys Cena on the ramp and then Rollins nails Ambrose with 2 pedigrees.
I will say, though, Cena took that fucking bump on a middle grate. I have nothing but respect.
Absolutely. That was a serious bump.
That motherfucker bumped right on a steel grate. I was just like, alright, John Cena's the fucking man.
So, for anyone that thinks wrestling is fake, watch that.
Yeah, man, I mean, like Punk. Like, when Punk was in one of the, Elimination Chambers, he did like an elbow up or something. He landed right on his fucking hip. I think it was an elbow. But he like lacerated the whole back of his leg open by landing on that metal.
I remember that.
Yeah, like them 3 weird cut. It looks like he got a tickle from Wolverine. But yeah. So that's just legit, guys. And John Cena's tough as shit.
He really is.
He comes back way faster than any human's supposed to come back from surgery. I mean, like...
Yeah, like Lance just said in the chat, Cena won him over. I definitely don't want him as world champion, but he's one of the hardest workers out there. I always said I respect Cena the person. Cena the character is not for me.
Yeah, the character's not for me. I have no problem with what the person does. I mean, that motherfucker does more for us.
No, I respect the hell out of him.
Yeah, I mean, like, if I met him, I'd probably get, he'd probably be awesome to hang out with. Like, like, all joking aside, the dude's probably fucking awesome to hang out with.
True story. My son is a huge Cena mark. Well, I was talking with my ex, and I don't think I told you this.
Nope.
She told me the next time Cena is in town, be it like an autograph signing or whatever, she goes, take him to it so that he can meet John Cena, and I will pay you for half of it. So I will let you know how John Cena is when I go with my son in the not-so-distant future.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's a shame she didn't tell me sooner, because he was in Philly, like, not even, 3-4 weeks ago.
That ain't bad at all.
No, and I think he was charging, 75, I think, or 80, something like that. Considering what Hogan and Flair charged, that's a hell of a deal. Yeah,
no. There's a couple of them that charge way too much.
Shit, even Sting, we talked about this, bro. He was like charging out the ass.
Yeah. No, a lot of like the older Hall of Famers are super expensive.
Lance said that if you hung out with Cena would be getting a wellness suspension or a fine at the very least.
Oh, absolutely. And that'd just be from being in the same room with me for too long.
I was waiting for it.
Absolutely.
But like you said, dude, I'm actually excited to see where they go to get to Battleground.
Yeah, no, I'm actually looking forward to the next pay-per-views.
Because it's 3 weeks from this Sunday.
It's coming Sunday.
I just want to know, are they going to bash Roman Reigns every week now on Raw like that?
I don't know. That'd be interesting.
And they had it ready, dude. You saw it. They had the tweet and everything right up on the big screen.
Yeah, that's... I don't know. I'm very shocked that that's the route that they went with all the time that they've invested.
All the money and the time they put into him.
It doesn't necessarily surprise me. I'm just surprised that it happened.
I will say this. If you ever wanted to make him a monster heel, now is your chance.
Uh-huh. Absolutely.
Because he kind of like started acting like it on Raw last week.
Well, that could have been because they knew that they were suspending him.
That too.
And they were preparing him for that. Like, for it to come back. I mean, it's possible that that was an indication of the future, but I just have a pretty good feeling that we'll be sitting here next week, or not next week, in a month, or right before SummerSlam, and Roman's still going to be super babyface.
Yeah, it wouldn't shock me.
Or being portrayed as one.
Lance says he thinks that WWE finally sees it, and that's the bashing.
I think the fact that he's doing shitty drawing speaks more than anything else. I don't think Vince gives a flying fuck what people think. The fact that people aren't going to the shows with Vince. Because I think you're the one who told me this, and I've been told this by other people as well. The shows that were headlined by Dean Ambrose, and I believe it was Jericho or Owens, in smaller venues typically did better gates than the shows headlined by Roman Reigns
in bigger arenas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So with a potential smaller base of customers, the Dean Ambrose shows drew more money than the Roman Reigns, which cost more money for the company.
Yeah, and I bet you that's another reason why they decided to go with him too, even though he kind of lucked into it, you know?
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, they're definitely doing things different. He's like the new age Mick Foley type wrestler. Kind of deranged.
Yeah, I love it.
Oh, I think it's perfect, you know, I mean, but
people get angry when I say this, but to me, it reminds me of and he's in nowhere near, I'm comparing him to this person, the Stone Cold, like, buck the authority trend, because, like, last night, they hinted at it, because Stephanie's like, yeah, you know, when you lose to AJ Styles, then you'll be one step closer to, you know, getting rid of this abomination of you as a champion. Or something like that.
Possibly.
So I'm like, oh, they must be going to go with the, like, anti-authority deal.
It's possible, but they did that with Roman, they did that with Daniel Bryan, they did that with Austin, so it's just a reoccurring theme for them, it seems.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I just think Ambrose could actually pull it off.
Yeah. he's kind of already showed that he's just what the hell is the word? Like an anarchist in general.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they have to necessarily have it be a buck the authority, other than just like continue to be like fuck the rules and fuck the social norms and.
Yeah, I know. Just basically be him.
Because I think they may ruin it with another. Because they can't keep their own people in these singular storylines where it's only that person against the boss. It's getting.
Right, well, and my whole thing is, I think it's easier to feel sympathy for him because he just looks like a regular dude.
Yeah.
And that's another reason why I think the thing with Reigns has failed is because this guy looks like a freaking, model, and we're supposed to feel sympathy for him.
Yeah, and I don't think that a owner or an executive should ever be on TV in a talent role, i.e. general manager.
Yes.
Because there always has to be there has to be a looming presence over even the general manager.
Yeah.
And there doesn't have to be conflict between a benign general manager and an evil executive. It just doesn't have to.
Right.
And I think that makes it difficult at times too, because they go right to I'm the boss. Like, you can't ever argue with a McMahon, because they're the owners of the company, and they quickly switch between those hats on television, and I don't think that's good for character development. I think executives should be off TV and only come back for big, like, oh shit, Stephanie's back.
Yeah, make it mean something.
Absolutely.
Alright, Lance has a question. He says, when Roman comes back, does he get new gear?
Bro, he's a big Samoan dude. Why they have him in a bulletproof vest still, I don't understand. I think they should have him in fucking either tights or trunks. And that's it.
And I've said this for a long time. Rollins and Ambrose broke away from the Shield and got over with different gimmicks. They've kept him exactly the same like he was in the Shield.
Yeah, there's been no change. And he had the same entrance until he won the title again.
Yeah. At least with Rollins, he was the architect, and then he was, whatever you want to call him, and then Ambrose was the crazy man, and it's like Reigns is just Reigns.
No, he's the Roman Empire, bro.
Yeah.
I know, it's stupid.
I know, but at least we don't have to hear I'm the guy for another, few weeks.
I'm okay with the dude.
I was laughing. I said, I know the Raw rating didn't go up this week, but I said I wouldn't be shocked if it went up the next few weeks just because people know Roman isn't on television.
That would be very interesting. That would be very interesting.
If you give me a second, I'll tell you the viewership. It says the main event that hour drew 3.093 million.
I don't know what that means.
It's down from last week's 3.467 million people. That watched the show.
I'd have to look. I'd have to look at what the last couple of weeks were. I'd have to look at what else was on TV, because Raw numbers like that don't usually work. I know what you mean, though.
Cause I'm looking at it now. The second hour peaked slightly, and then it went back down in the third hour.
Yeah, people get tired of that third hour.
Last week it didn't. It kind of stayed the same.
Yeah, and there was no...
Lance says, one of the best movies ever, The Big Lebowski. LOL, the dude.
Yep, dude. The dude knows.
I'm trying to find it now. The actual breakdown of the rating, because I know it went down. Like you said, it could have been because of the title change last week is why it went up.
Yeah, with the whole shock factor. Like, I know after Edge won the title, that next Monday Night Raw was like the #1 viewed Raw in a long time.
Basically, they lost 374,000 viewers from last week.
That's like 10%. 10% of 3
Well, they
million.
better get their game up because football will be back before you know it.
Yeah.
And then they'll start getting crushed in the ratings with that.
And then they have shitty pay-per-views until Survivor Series. But what they need to have is Survivor Series. No more of these bullshit one-on-one matches.
Oh yeah, I hate it. But everybody wanted the brand split. Now you're going to get 2 specials a month on the network.
Yeah, that is going to be pretty awesome.
One of Raw and one of SmackDown. Which is very cool. And then they're going to have the dual pay-per-views. I couldn't think of the word.
Yeah, that's going to be... I'm going to enjoy that, I hope. I hope it's going to be good wrestling. I hope that they don't fuck this up.
I said if they're going to do the Raw and the SmackDown ones like every 2 weeks, I think what they need to do is make them like the old In Your Houses where they're only 2 hours. Because I think 3 hours would drag.
I don't know. It depends on if they really work on their products. You could get a good 3-hour pay-per-view out of those guys.
Right.
You can't just have better storylines. You know, like even not with that, you're just gonna have guys that people want to see wrestle together.
That's going to be a lot of wrestling, bro. Think about it. There'll be...
But if they're 2 wrestling crews, from what I'm reading, they want to treat this completely like 2 separate entities. So it's not like the writing crew is going to have to be writing.
Yeah, no. I just meant like for like a casual fan as an example. That's 3, 6, 8. If you watch NXT 2, that's 9 hours of wrestling on a pay-per-view week.
No, if they do 2 hours, they do 2 hours. I just don't see pay-per-views ever breaking the whole 3-hour format. I could be completely wrong.
Yeah, no, it's just a guess. And like Lance said, the poor British people. They on with you, Rygal.
Yeah, bro, it's just a hot day today.
Yeah, it's been brutal here with the humidity. My God, I hope it finally breaks. But look, everybody, we're going to get out of here for tonight. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, all that kind of stuff. And we will see you next week. Have a good night, everybody.
Adios.